Welcome to Political Drain, where we cut through the noise and get to the root of what's really happening in Washington. Today we're diving into the 2025 government shutdown, what caused it, who is affected, and what it reveals about a deeper dysfunction in our political system. If you felt the ripple effects, from delayed paychecks to frozen services, this is the video for you. Let's break it down system by system. Before we get into it, I want to ask you to like, subscribe, and share this video, please. The more people we reach, the more resistance we can build. All right, let's get to it. Today marks day 34 of the government shutdown. Tomorrow, the U.S. government shutdown will become the longest shutdown in U.S. history. It will surpass the 2018-2019 shutdown, which, not surprisingly, was under Trump as well. In a 60-minute interview, President Trump was asked what his plan is to end the shutdown, and his response was, keep voting, and if Democrats don't vote, that's their problem. I'm sorry, their problem? What is he implying here? That it's not his problem? Wasn't he elected the President of the United States of America? Wouldn't that make it his problem too? Well, millions of Americans are going to be sitting there wondering how they're going to feed their kids. And millions more are about to lose their health care because they're not going to be able to afford it. We can sit there and say things like it's their problem. Well, prices have gone up on everything from gas to groceries and everything in between, and our wages remain the same. We can sit there and say things like it's their problem. No, sir, it's your problem. You're the President of the United States of America. I keep wishing for the day when somebody's gonna get Trump to put his big boy pants on, or hell, half of his cabinet, or maybe just one person in his cabinet. But that day's not going to happen. So I should probably quit hoping, huh? The MAGA people voted Trump in on lies of cheaper groceries, release of the Epstein files, and everything in between. I wish I could say that his lies are their problem. But unfortunately, Trump's lies are all of our problem. So, Mr. President, if your lies are my problem, then my concerns about how I'm going to feed my kids or how I'm going to afford health insurance is damn well your problem as well. Let's talk about some real life people that are affected by this. Who is being affected? How and why? Over 670,000 guys, federal employees have been temporarily laid off without pay since October 1st. That's a month now. That's crazy. Approximately another 730,000 federal employees are working without pay. Now, some examples of these employees who are working without pay are air traffic controllers, TSA officers at the airports. So when you're going through airport security and your bag gets flagged to go get checked, give them a break. They're working for nothing right now. And it's just to make sure that you're safe and everyone else is too. Federal law enforcement, such as the FBI, Secret Service, they're not getting paid either. I saved the worst for last. Our active duty military. Over 2 million active duty and reserve military personnel are at risk of missing paychecks. Through a large private donation, some military paychecks were able to go out, while many were not. It was a $130 million donation. Now that's a huge amount of money. To me, probably to you, to many people, to most people, that would be a huge amount of money. But if we do the math, and it's a $130 million donation, and let's just say it's only 1.3 million soldiers who need to get paid, that comes out to a $100 paycheck for our soldiers. What are we doing? $100 for the people who signed on a dotted line to defend the United States of America, to give the ultimate sacrifice of their life if it came down to it, and our government can't get their shit together enough to make sure they get paid? Most of these soldiers have seen some kind of war. All come back with scars. Not all scars are visible, but all come back with scars. And in return, what do they get? Well, right now they get to stand in food pantry lines and pray that they reach the front before the food runs out. They get to worry about how they're going to pay for their family's home, how they're going to provide. Is this how we think? We're the home of the free because of the brave, but we can't take care of the brave? How much sense does that make? This makes me sick. Our soldiers, even during shutdowns, should be a priority. If they're considered essential to work, then you should consider them essential to pay. It irritates me that soldiers can make our country number one. They can make it the number one priority in their world. But we can't repay that favor and make them a priority. That's gross. More people affected. The Trump administration disclosed that it was trying to lay off over 4,000 federal workers. What? Why? Because you guys can't get it together enough to keep the government open? You have to fire people or lay people off? What the hell are you doing over there? Thank God a judge has indefinitely barred that administration from firing employees due to the shutdown. Now, side note here, sorry everyone, but I kind of lost faith in our judicial system. Hell, actually, I've really kind of lost faith in the whole political system. I remember when I was younger, I was always told, if you have a problem with the way something is being done, write your congressman, write your senator, write your representative, call. Okay. I mean, back then, I believe that would have worked. I believe that someone would have listened. Someone would have tried to do something. I have no faith in that now. I'm going to write a letter or a call and I'm going to get help? No. I'm going to get something to change? No. If the actual senators themselves can't get stuff to change, what makes me think that I'm going to be able to? And this reveals a huge problem. If the American people feel like they no longer have a voice, like they can no longer make a difference, no longer make change, they're going to give up. And if we give up, we stop fighting, it just gets worse from here. So as much as I lost my faith and my hope, I'm going to keep pushing forward. I'm going to keep fighting, and I'm going to keep hoping for that change. Because the youth, they deserve to have a better system than what we have right now. Anyone deserves to have a better system than what we have right now. Now, I do want to mention that after the shutdown, the federal employees will receive back pay. They just are not getting paid right now. I was curious, and I looked it up. And according to Bipartisan Policy Center, the average paycheck for a federal employee is approximately $4,700 per check, and they're paid bi-weekly. So they've missed 2 checks so far, which totals $9,400. Now, I don't know about you, but I could do a lot with $9,400, and I could really be hurt if I didn't have that money as well. Now, with that being said, the government does have to pay the federal workers back pay. The CBO estimates the compensation for these workers is about $400 million per day. $400 million. These are huge numbers. And we're just told it's their problem. Just keep voting. Some impacts on federal programs. Everybody's very well aware. The SNAP benefit situation. There are approximately 42 million people who receive SNAP assistance. The funding was meant to help people who couldn't afford food, to help food insecurities. Now, it was said to abruptly stop on November 1st, but 25 different states got together and they asked a federal judge in Massachusetts to order the USDA to pay. Good news, guys. They agreed today. They will be dipping into the contingency funds. They're going to be paying about $4.6 billion in contingency funds. Now, that'll only cover half of the $9.2 billion needed to make full SNAP payments. So, good news is SNAP is coming. It's coming. Little bit bad news, it's going to be about half, but it's better than nothing right now. So I guess we'll take what we can get right now. I don't know. I don't really know what to say with that. I think it's sick. I think it's sad, and I think it's pathetic that while these senators and these Republicans and Trump are going to be sitting there on Thanksgiving in their mansions with their big old turkey that some cooked for them, because God knows not a single one of them could probably cook. They're going to be sitting there at their table with all their food, not giving a shit. Well, families out there in our country are going to be sitting at tables with nothing. They're not going to have any food. And you think that the government, the Republicans, the senators, or hell, even Trump is going to think about those people? No, they don't care. To those families, I feel for you. I am sorry. We'll make it through this together. Now, with that being said, I do have to also state that those payments are going to be coming late. So, because again, the government just doesn't give a shit anymore. I shouldn't say all of the government, because there are people out there that care. I want to thank the Democratic senators who are standing their ground and fighting for what's right, and fighting for the American people, even if they never see this, because I'm just little old me. But thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for what you're standing for. So I shouldn't say all. The Republicans, most of them, and our president just don't care. That's the craziest thing. The president of the United States of America doesn't give a shit about Americans. He only cares about lining his pockets. How are those prices of eggs, by the way? How about groceries in general? Aren't they supposed to come down? I don't know about you, but I'm paying about $200 every time I go to the grocery store. The Social Security Administration will remain open, but it's going to have reduced services. But good news is all payments to people currently receiving Social Security benefits, this includes retirement, survivors and disability insurance, and supplemental security income, will continue to receive their pay without any change. Now, this is because the funding for these programs is considered mandatory and it's not subject to the annual appropriations lapse. Thank God for small favors. Now, while Medicare and Medicaid benefits are still currently continuing, there are some critical disruptions and risks to talk about, particularly for our Medicare patients. There will also be claim processing delays. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or CMS, instructed contractors to implement a temporary hold on claims processing. Sorry guys, I got a kitty. Alright, say hi to Anne. Hi everybody. Alright, anyway, sorry guys. Back to what I was saying. CMS has instructed contractors to implement a temporary hold on claims processing. Now, typically the holds last about 10 business days, I should say. But a sustained shutdown could lead to delayed reimbursements to doctors and hospitals, potentially straining their operations. So a sustained shutdown could definitely impact our doctors, and we don't want that. There will be administrative delays with the reduced staffing, but they are still going to be open. Local offices will still be open. You'll still be able to apply for your Social Security, get your questions answered. Here's a big one that I wanted to talk about that really hasn't gotten a whole lot of attention in the news. It's the Head Start crisis. This is a big deal. For those of you who don't know, Head Start is a federal grant program that provides preschool, early education, health screenings, and nutrition for children from low-income families. It's also a program that is directly funded through annual appropriations, making it highly vulnerable to the shutdown. An estimated 134 Head Start programs across 41 states and Puerto Rico, serving nearly 60,000 children, did not receive their operational federal funding and are facing immediate funding cliffs. There are numerous Head Start centers across the country who have already closed indefinitely or are relying on fast-dwindling reserves and emergency local funding to stay open. This impacts thousands of children. I guess my question is, if the future is our children, our children are the future, why are we not taking care of them? Why are we not taking care of our children? Why are we not taking care of our future? Why are we not taking care of our elderly? I don't know, but we can pardon people and give Argentina $40 billion, and our priorities are skewed. I shouldn't say ours, because they're not our priorities. Trump's priorities are skewed. I was taught that if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. So I'm going to leave that where that is. Public schools. Now, while most K-12 public schools are primarily funded by the state and local taxes, there are instances in the schools that are federally funded. An example of this would be school meal reimbursements. The Department of Agriculture reimburses school districts for the cost of school meals. The National School Lunch Program has warned it may not have enough funds to cover this after a few months. Districts are worried they'll have to use their own reserves to cover the cost of feeding their students. Guys, they don't have a whole lot of reserves. That's why they got the federal funding. There's not much else I could say there. Again, we're not taking care of our children. We're not taking care of the future. We're going to let little Tommy or little Billy or little Sally or Sue go home hungry, possibly to a home where they don't have food at home because SNAP's been cut in half, and they go to bed hungry. This is asinine. This is beyond comprehension for me. If somebody can break this down for me and make me understand it, I would be grateful. Because I don't understand how we can punish children and elderly. Why? What did they do? It doesn't make sense. Let's talk about the cost of the shutdown to the U.S. economy. The shutdown is costing the United States money forever, not just temporarily. It's costing the U.S. money forever. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, the main problem is that when the government is closed, federal workers who are laid off aren't producing any work. That lost work and productivity is permanently gone. So according to experts, they estimate that the U.S. economy has already lost a minimum of $7 billion in economic output forever. Can't get it back. It's gone forever. And that number grows every day the shutdown continues. If the shutdown lasts until the end of November, that permanent loss could be up to $14 billion. In the short term, the economy is being slowed down because people aren't spending. You can't spend money you don't have. So they're not going out, they're not shopping for things like clothes, home repairs. They're not going out to restaurants or bars. This pulls down the spending across the country, which affects the economy. Most of the money that was delayed, like the federal workers' pay, will be returned to them when the government opens. However, the money that was lost because people didn't buy things, they didn't go to restaurants, they didn't do that home repair, they didn't take that vacation, that's gone for good. So that $7 billion is gone for good. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that the shutdown's putting a temporary break on academic growth right now. And the longer it goes on, the more impact it's going to have on our economy forever. Certain things just can't be undone. And we're going to learn that, even if we didn't have a choice in the matter. So what's causing all of this? What is the big problem, and why is the government shut down? I already mentioned it. The government is shut down because of a standoff over healthcare for the American people. The expiration date for federal subsidies or tax credits that make health insurance affordable for millions of Americans on the Affordable Care Act marketplace are set to expire at the end of December. Now, without these subsidies, people are looking at their insurance doubling, tripling, quadrupling. We're talking astronomically increasing to the point where people can't afford it, where people are no longer going to have health care. They're no longer going to be able to get the care they need if they are sick or hurt themselves. They can't do it. We're talking about increases, some say from 8,000 to 16,000 to 18,000 up to 20,000. Now, I can't afford $20,000 a year for health insurance. Maybe can you? The subsidies were meant to make health insurance more affordable for the American people so that we could get the care that we need, so that we could become a healthier nation. If Congress doesn't extend these subsidies, 20 million Americans are expected to see that sharp increase. And it starts in January. It's not like it's a couple of years down the road. It would start right away. This would cause millions of people to lose their health insurance. So who's on what side? What's the standoff about? Well, the Democrats are refusing to vote the Republican-backed bill to reopen the government, called a continuing resolution, because it doesn't include a guarantee extension for the expiring ACA subsidies. They are using the shutdown as leverage to force the Republicans to negotiate on health care first. Republicans' position, well, they're backed by President Trump and are refusing to negotiate the health care issue while the government is closed. They're demanding the Democrats vote to pass the funding bill and reopen the government first before discussing any policy changes like the subsidies. This is the same guy that said it's their problem. Got it. So we're supposed to trust y'all when you say that you're going to negotiate with us once the government gets reopened? No, you're not. You're going to reopen the government and then you're going to screw us over again because that's what you do. Because people like Mike Johnson only think about themselves. I got a big problem with Mike Johnson. He's a liar. He acts like he has morals and he doesn't. He has nothing. He's a tool. You are a tool for the president to use when he wants, and you'll get discarded eventually, but you're a joke. You're a disgrace. How dare you sit up there every day and say that you're for the American people? Really? What American people are we talking about here? I mean, maybe some that are rich and have a shit ton of money, and for the rest of us who work day to day for a paycheck that they need at the end of the week to pay their bills, you don't speak for us. You don't give a shit about us. We're just people to screw over. We're pawns in a game. This isn't a game, though. This is Americans' lives. These are real people's lives that you're playing with. Ugh, what a joke. He's a joke. Basically, the shutdown is essentially a high-stakes legislative hostage situation over the future of health insurance costs for millions of Americans. And that's what it boils down to. It is a high-stakes legislative hostage situation. And we are the hostages. Okay, rant time. I think it's sick what the Republicans are doing right now. I don't know how they go home and they sleep. I don't know how they can face their families. I guess if you have enough money thrown at you, you can pretend everything's okay. But if I was the wife of one of those senators, I would be embarrassed. I would be appalled. Guys, can we take a step back here and realize that the crazy senator from Georgia is the one making sense right now? I don't mention names. I mean, Mike Johnson I can, because I really, really hate him, but it's crazy, you know? I wish I had better news, guys. But these are the facts. We're a game. We're pawns in a game for the Republicans. They don't give a shit about us. And that's so sad. It's so sad when you feel like you have absolutely no say in your government, absolutely no say in the way your country is being led. What's even sadder is when you can screw people like low-income families, the elderly, children, and our soldiers over, and not blink an eye, act like it's just another day. That's sick. That's deranged. And that disgusts me. I don't know about you. All right, guys, now that I've gone over the who, what, where, and when of the 2025 government shutdown, come back tomorrow for an update. Hopefully it'll be better news. The 2025 shutdown isn't just a budget dispute. It's a symptom of a system straining under partisan gridlock and public distrust. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to the Political Drain channel, and share this video with someone who needs clarity in the chaos. Drop a comment below with your thoughts or experiences. Your voice matters. And together, we can demand better. We deserve better. We are better.
Hey, yeah, you. Before you click away to watch someone unbox a tactical toothbrush, let's talk about something real. Political Drain isn't just another content mill. We're a digital front in a very real war. Not with bullets, but with ideas, with action, and with solidarity. We pair urgent news with critical education. And we build community around actual resistance, not the hashtag kind. The kind that moves. But here's the thing. None of this is free. It isn't. Behind every video is time, labor, research, and some weird guy asking if we're gonna pay the hosting bill. And yeah, some of that money goes to things we can't necessarily say out loud. If you know, you know. Let's just say our special ops aren't Call of Duty LARPers. They're people making real moves to protect, uplift, and organize. You're not just funding a channel. You're funding a resistance network in a world where capital still calls the shots. Unfortunately, in a system built on artificial scarcity, even mutual aid has a price tag. And if we want to grow, if we want to win, we need your help. We need your help. So if you've got even a few bucks to spare, toss it our way. It's not for ads, it's not for merch drops, but for people making moves in the shadows so others can do it in the light. It's just us and you. So fund the mission, fund the fight, fund the future, because nobody's coming to save us. We save each other. That's how this works. Follow us on all these things you see here, and our link tree is in the description. Maybe even get some merch.